is Juan Andres, and today is our first movie review. The movie is The War of Words. It was made in 2005 and with the main character as Tom Cruise. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the movie, about the icons of science fiction presented in the movie, and finally, my opinion. But first, I want to talk about or say you a brief summary about the movie if you haven't seen it. So it starts with Ray Ferrier, or you may know Tom Cruise. He's a divorced dog worker. He has two kids, and he's not the greatest father of all. And so the movie starts with the mother leaving both kids, Robbie and Rachel, in Ray's house for the weekend. And suddenly it appears a strange and strong storm into the area where they're living, and it's the entry or the introduction of the aliens into the Earth. The movie talks about and mainly based on the attack of aliens into our world and the survival of the humankind, of how the people are trying to survive of these aliens that are killing all humanity. So the movie it will mainly talk about that. I recommend it to see it. Well, you have more the idea of what we're going to talk about in this video. So that's like the brief summary. Now let's talk about the icons of science fiction. So now we're going to talk about the icons of science fiction, but first I think it is important to define what is science fiction. Science fiction is a genre that uses speculative, fictional, science-based depictions of a phenomena that is not fully accepted by the science. In this case, the War of Words, the main genre, is science fiction. Science fiction is a class of the postmodernism movement, and the science fiction have different icons, as I already mentioned. It has a lot of icons like the spaceship, the rockets, the aliens, the cyborgs, the robots, the space, the different planets that have life, all of that stuff. But mainly in this movie, The War of Words, there are two main icons that are spaceships and aliens. So first, we're going to talk about spaceships. In the icons of science fiction, spaceships are presented like like machinery created by humans that are used to go to the universe and to explore all the space that in the actuality we can't, because it's too difficult to go because of the distances. So in the science fiction, is presented like the transport that make the humans to go into all the places of the universe. But in this case of the movie, the spaceships are presented like as the transport of the aliens. The aliens use the spaceships to come into Earth and like to use them as a weapon to destroy the humankind. Now let's talk about the aliens. The aliens is other of the icons of science fiction. As you may know, when they talk about science fiction, we always think about aliens. Aliens is like the main icon of this science fiction. So the aliens are introduced in the movie as like the main antagonist or the enemies. So in science fiction, it is always known the aliens are not a friendly things. They're always like the enemies into the movie or the book or the novel, as it is presented in the movie. So they make well use of the aliens into the movie. And lastly, we're going to talk like about my opinion. Why do I think about the movie? So I think the movie is pretty interesting. It has a good plot, like a good idea of how science fiction can be shown into the movie. Nevertheless, I think the end or like the final part of the movie is pretty strange, because they don't give like a reason of why the spaceships died, like the aliens start to die. Sorry, spoilers, but you have to see it. So it is like strange to know like what happened with them. Like suddenly fall down or start to die. The aliens start to die. So I think the audience wanted to know what happened to that aliens. Also, I think it will be more interesting if they make like a strong or a better end to the movie, because like it is a good movie, but it is strange like how it is managed, like the final part. Like you see like the beginning and the climax, and you think, okay, that's a good movie, but when you may go into the conclusion, you're like, what I expected as strong. Like if Tom Cruise was a real hero, what happened with him and all of the stuff. So I hope that you have a little bit of understanding of what is science fiction, its icons. I recommend to see the movie if you want to know more about it. And that's all for today. My name is Juan Andres, and see you in the next one. Bye.